Get in, lads. Nations League 2025 is finally done. We're going to talk about third place and the final matches today. Obviously, Mexico win the final, and Canada getting third place over the USA.
Save it for later.
Yeah, oh no. We'll start with USA Canada, of course, because third place game, and then we'll gradually move into the Mexico Panama. USA Canada. Canada wins 2-1. Right, I believe it's 2-1. Man, I don't even know what to say anymore, dude.
I love it. Yes.
Progression of the U.S. men's national team has been quite something to watch. Very, very interesting, and I would not have predicted it. Even up until like a month or two ago, I was like still riding high on the USMNT's chances for the future. But Canada comes out, wins USA. I mean, what about the game? USA just didn't look like they cared about playing. Not in either game, to be fair. That game in particular. Canada's still in it as, in my opinion, the number one team in Concacaf for now. And no, just appreciate Canada. But yeah, that was just a bad game overall for the USA. Canada, fantastic. Canada fully, I don't want to say deserves to be in the final, but you could argue that too. Third place at the very least. At least you're not last. That's a dub. And yeah, good for them. Jesse Marsch red card though. Quite interesting. That was a crazy sequence of events there.
I wonder what he said. Like it wasn't a dive. I think he just slipped.
I think he just slipped. Yeah, but it wasn't a pen by any means.
No, because he didn't even ask for it. But like at the same time, I don't know what got Jesse Marsch so mad to the point where he got sent off over a slip.
Yeah, he was yelling at her, bro. I don't
know what was said. I mean, you probably could hear it on the mics because of the lack of attendance. But you know, I have the volume down a little bit. But I'm sure fans in the crowd, the whopping 37, definitely heard what was said. So you know, if you were one of those 37 fans, probably not. But please let us know in the comments down below what was said. I predicted it was something sexist or something like that.
Had to be. I think he might use the B word, perhaps. And, you know, obviously it just hits a little bit more when you're speaking to
allegedly, of course. Canadian men's national team. Allegedly. We're all saying this. We're speculating. You know, nothing's concrete.
Yes,
we're not claiming.
We don't know.
Jesse Marsch is sexist. That was a crazy we're just saying what could possibly
This is
happen.
The downfall of the Canadian national team right here.
Sexist manager. Yeah, no. We're not saying that. It's just all allegedly. We're just guessing.
No, but that definitely was not a penalty. I mean, I can understand being mad from that touchline and not seeing the replay. First thing he should have done was went back to the iPad. You know, let assistant coach show him that it wasn't necessarily a penalty.
Or his players' reactions. Just look at them. Yeah, no one asked for it.
You know, just
not a
just
single
watch the game.
Player asked for it.
Jesse Marsch, what I imagine happened was some of the emotions from the Mexico game may have carried over a bit into this Canada game, into the USA game, and it just came out in a very inappropriate way.
Got PTSD. No shame in that.
Yeah, he thought he was being screwed over by Concacaf for a second time. No, it only just happened once, and
just once.
But you know, other than that, Canada still wins. Jonathan David's still the best, in my opinion, number 9 in Concacaf right now overall as a player. And yeah, the Canada team is still legit. Like, yes, it was a loss to Mexico. Yes, they couldn't get in. Canada has bad games, but they came out and won the third place game against the number 1 in Concacaf. I say figuratively, and that will be discussed later this week. But yeah, I mean, Canada's they're still up there. I don't think any credit should be taken away. It's still a big win against the USA team that proved to not be existent anymore. Canada, I think, should still hold their heads high. We got a year left to the World Cup. I think Canada's still in the running for being I don't want to say contender, but out of the group stage at the very least.
I think it solidifies USN's national team. There we go. Has some of the most delusional fan bases in the world. Going like looking back on everything that has been said on this channel, on other channels, on Twitter, all the jazz. You know, I understand the hype. You know, there's a lot of hype. Like looking back on it, it's quite funny. To see how delusional everything, all the thinking was, saying semifinals, quarterfinals, appearance in the World Cup, looking like you can't even do that. You know, this is going to be hilarious if, you know, they do get into it, and I'm saying this now. But at this moment in time, it doesn't look like even a group stage finish, depending on their group, they're going to get out of the World Cup. And that brings me a lot of joy. Just that thought. Just the thought brings me a lot of joy. And seeing this downfall. You know, they say the youth, the youth is looking promising. Well, you know, U21s, U17 champions is Mexico, per usual. So we're back on top. All that jazz. So it's looking great. You know, this is supposed to be a United States, Canada heavy. I'm just saying. It's lovely.
All right.
I just wanted to bring the delusional aspect into it. It's important.
Yeah, I mean, okay, like hindsight's 2020. Like, yeah, no shit. I'm not obviously USA fans look stupid right now, but like I think USA fans had good reason to believe that there still is a promising future. USA fans had reason to believe for a while USA was number one. Up until like this past half a year. I'm not so anything said in that time span I think was valid for the time span. Obviously right now, yeah, it's dumb in hindsight, but Mexico fans were doing the same thing right before that. Like that was Mexico during that period, and now it's USA's during Canada's period. You know what I'm saying?
No,
like,
I don't.
It's just
we
yes,
had,
it is.
We had backup. We had stats, facts, all the sorts. But
No.
it's cool, man. It's cool. It's cool.
No.
It's cool.
Okay, well, also says U20 just beat Mexico's U20 by 3-0 yesterday, but that's beside the point too. Apparently,
that's yesterday, man. That's yesterday.
What are we talking? Yeah, but so was the Gold Cup U21
it's just
final.
A game. It's just a game. It's just a friendly. Oh my! Doesn't matter. Just like
whatever. and anyways, yes, USA is fucking looking stupid right now, though. Percent, and the Canada result makes it look that much worse. I think if they beat Canada and showed some heart, yeah, okay, you know what? Backtrack a little bit. Okay, USA is still in a weird spot, but we can move forward from this. Now we just look dumb. It just looks stupid. The golden generation, which, by the way, in my opinion, is the next generation. We do have a really good youth that arguably could be better than the current team, but still, that's in the future. The World Cup is being held in 1 year. The USMNT right now is absolutely abysmal. Everybody's calling them out too, which is awesome. I think it absolutely need to be. I don't know if you saw the video of the one of the US supporters, and they were just talking to, I don't know who it was, but someone on the sideline. They were just saying like, we bleed for this team, we love this team, like show them that they care. People were like yelling at Clint Dempsey, asking, do the players care? Oh my god, this is probably the worst state the USMNT has been in a while. And we were in a pretty bad state with Berhalter, and then Berhalter, bald man, goes to Chicago, and he's won 3 in a row, I believe, and now. I mean, it's a question of who cares, right? Canada, Jesse Marsch gives a fuck. He gives a trillion fucks about the Canadian national men's team and the soccer system. Pochettino might be here for a paycheck, and just because he didn't have anything else lined up, to be honest. The USA players, I saw a tweet saying the women's team treats it as a privilege to play for the USA, and that's where they kill it. The men's team treats it as charity to play with the US men's national team, and I agree 100%. Yeah, that game just exposed a lot. That game exposed a lot about this. And USA, rightfully, were the 4th best team in the semifinals of all.
Should have been Jamaica. Jamaica should have been 4th. Real shame.
Yeah. At least they can. Well, I'm not even gonna say that they almost lost to St. Vincent, in Gold Cup qualifying a couple days ago. Which almost. Yes, they unfortunately were able to get an away goal in the 90th minute off a stupid dumb penalty by a St. Vincent player. And hey, wait, a stupid dumb penalty. Let's talk about Jose Cordoba's handball for Panama, and someone check his bank account, bro. What was that?
I'll admit I wired him $1 to do that. Someone check the betting stats of a late handball.
What was that?
I genuinely don't know.
Where I couldn't tell you what. Like, okay, at first, right, I maybe didn't catch in the moment. I was on my phone at the moment it happened, and my dad goes crazy. He's like, "What the fuck was that?" And then I was like, "Wait, what?" And I kind of just thought that, okay, he just missed the header, and he was trying to reach out for it, right? And then he like just missed it, and it hits his hand. That can make sense, but no, he just fucking he was playing volleyball. He was playing volleyball, and he was trying to get it back up. I just don't understand. What a shitty way to lose that game. Because you know what? Panama had a chance there.
No, they didn't deserve to have a chance.
I think they played well enough to be where they were, and they deserve to be where they were. I don't think Mexico had that good of a game. Okay, let's talk about this. Mexico, this is a Band-Aid. This isn't Mexico or so back. This is a Band-Aid. No. Mexico, in the 2 games they played, I don't think they played that well. Javier Aguirre, he's getting a lot of praise. Esco's getting a lot of praise. Understandably so, because he has changed his team for the better. But it's not good football. I don't think it's good football. I think it just gets results.
Gotta give him time, man. Goodness.
Yeah, but like he has a year.
Compared to what you gotta remember, compared to what we were cooking beforehand, you gotta understand. Like it looked like the players didn't give a shit, and they were just going through the motions. We had no game plan. The game plan was just to boot it forward. Granted, that is semi part of our game plan still. Is booting it forward to one of our strikers now. But I think it's important to note that the players do give a shit. They were going in hard on every 50-50, going, slide tackling. Every player cares. Every player that's on that pitch cares to play for the national team. So and that's I think all Mexico fans ever care about. Yeah, the wins are
True.
nice, but it's the passion. It's the passion to bleed for the shirt. So yeah, it's honestly it's great to see again. A little camaraderie. Wait, you're not the
camaraderie.
There we go. That
camaraderie.
word.
What the fuck?
I can't say it. I don't know why I can't say that word. Huh?
Yes, the teamwork. Just say teamwork.
Teamwork. The teamwork amongst the team. They care for each other, and it's little bits and bobs from the previous generation of they're working together and getting along well. So it's honestly obviously the job's not done. There's no I agree with you to an extent. It wasn't perfect. We did have to rely on Raul Jimenez 4 times in the over 2 games.
Yeah.
But you know what? When a player's hot like that, you gotta just let him be. You know what I mean? He's not. If he wants to carry the boats, he can carry the boats. I'm not gonna tell him not to. But other than that, I think it's a good step going forward. I remember the players' interviews after translation. They were all saying, it's something to celebrate, but also, it's to build off of going further, and especially going to the World Cup. So I think give them a little bit of time. Gold Cup, bring our strongest squad possible, just for them to gel, get game time in, practice tactics, all that jazz. Use the group stage, switch out players, figure out what works, what doesn't work. And then just kind of see what happens going into it. Hope that Canada brings their A team, and then the United States also brings their A team, so we have a little bit of competition. And then go into the 2 windows against Turkey and Switzerland with our best squad. See what happens. Honestly, it's not. It's a band. You can say a Band-Aid, but it's a healing wound at the same time. Yeah. Anyways, it's a healing wound in my opinion, because I don't really see us taking a step back. In the time of the World Cup. Yeah, I can see it maybe taking a step back later down the road, but I think we finally found our groove. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with everything. I say that's why I say we're back, is because I can see what we're going to build up to. I'm very excited. Defensively, we look sound.
Yeah.
Cesar Montes is not getting the enough praise. He didn't play against Canada, but he did play against Panama. And he was solid. Juan Vasquez gets all the praise just because he's a little bit more dynamic like that. But I was very happy. We saw Israel Reyes. I thought was fantastic throughout the entire tournament. He got a little bit exposed in the Copa America when he played that center back role at one game, and then I guess his right back's his comfort spot because he did very well. Put in some great tackles, and then left back we saw Angulo play left back, and then immediately get cooked. Get cooked down that end line. But we don't talk about that because Gallardo wasn't doing anything either. So at one point in that game, bro stood still and set a screen to try and knock over the Panamanian player, but he missed.
Bro.
That was crazy. But yeah, I'm happy. Midfield needs some work, I will admit. Midfield, that combination needs some work because we can't play Luis Romo and Edson Alvarez at the same time because we lack that going forward ability from our midfield. And that was evidence. I think Luis Chavez added a little bit to that when he came on. And I also think we need to find a right winger because I don't think Rico's it either, unfortunately.
He had an assist.
He got the assist, but like after that, didn't do anything.
I thought he definitely played I don't want to say his best game for Mexico, but he played one of his better games for Mexico was that final. I mean, he didn't do anything negative, I would say. He had a couple good cuts in and whatnot. He didn't look horrible. He didn't look too out of place.
I know. I'm not saying it didn't look horrible, but I'm like better quality opponents. Speed.
He's not my starter. He's not my starting right wing. I would say for Mexico.
No, he's not. But I like the 2-man striker system. You got 2 hot players in form. Santi. I feel so bad for that guy so much.
I know.
I really do.
He didn't have a bad game. I mean, as the setup striker, he did his job.
No, I just feel so bad because he got unlucky on a few, and I was really hoping that Jimenez brace is going to go crazy. My prediction technically was true because I did say brace. So football guru.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I'm happy. I'm very happy with the direction we're going towards. It's Nations League. No, nothing crazy to celebrate for, but I know the players are proud of it. Obviously, first in our history because it's a brand new tournament for Concacaf, relatively speaking. So, I'm just happy going forward. But on the Panamanian perspective,
I know
I got to give credit where credit's due.
I was going to say, I think Panama had a splendid Nations League. I think Panama can hold their heads high. They should have went to extra time. Could have went to pens. I think if it goes to extra time, I think Panama still have a chance there. I don't think they allow a Mexico goal in.
Ooh.
Oh, Jesus, God, I don't think they allow a Mexico goal in extra time if it goes there. But match fixing happens around the world, and it seems to have happened again.
Okay, you can't.
No, but I mean, Panama had a great game.
A wire transfer mid game.
Yeah, at halftime, bro. He saw who called him at halftime. A lot of players from Panama there can walk away having done very well. Obviously, Cordoba's not one of those players. Garasquilla had a great Nations League, in my opinion. Godoy, SDFC player, I think had a fantastic Nations League, and is still one of the better players on that team. Defense, Blackman on the right and Harvey center back. Thank you, Jesus Christ. Right-sided center back. They both were spectacular. Yeah, I mean, Panama just got unfortunate. It was just unfortunate. They got a penalty for themselves, which was, up for debate. And it was very interesting that Canada had a very similar opportunity that didn't get a VAR review. But that's a discussion for, I don't want to have. Other people can. They got the goal.
We're going to get cooked in the comments if we did.
No, I know. I know, but Panama should absolutely hold their heads high. I'm not saying they deserve to win the Nations League, but they definitely deserve to be in the final. They proved that 100%. They proved that they should have been there. And I'm really excited to see them in the Gold Cup. I really am excited to see what happens in summer.
Well, they were the runner-ups last time.
Exactly, and they beat the USA for it. Not too long ago, off penalties. I was at an LAFC game, actually, when they beat USA on penalties for that Gold Cup. But, Panama's should be... I think the narrative is starting to shift into a Big Four with Panama. Panama might not be able to beat those three teams on a consistent basis, but they are able to compete on a consistent basis, and that's all you want to increase the competition in the region. So Panama absolutely should hold their heads high, and I could see them again, another semifinal appearance in the Gold Cup, maybe. But yeah, definitely hold their heads high. They deserve to be there 100%. Back to Mexico real quick. Arguably the best international window Mexico's had in a long time, right? You can 2-0 in Mexico a few months ago. Cool, great. Did it really mean anything long term? No. It was a talking. It was a friendly. It was for talking rights. That bragging rights. That's about it. Copa America before that, other Nations League, whatever. This is the best one in a long time. You did say earlier that you don't see them regress. I don't want to say that yet. I don't want to say that yet. Just because, again, talking about the performance
I had you on my side, Elijah. Really did.
No, I'm not saying that's not the case. That could very well be the case. But looking at their performances here, moving forward, can I say they won't be beaten by Canada or the USA again? I can't yet.
Exactly. Yes, you can.
No, but I can't, though. First of all, against the USA, regardless of the state USA is in, and I do want to see them match up in the Gold Cup, Mexico just doesn't show up against the USA anymore. And I want to see.
Oh, what? But the friendly they did. You can't say that.
Okay, but it was a friendly. It was a friendly.
You can't say that. You can't say that. You gotta turn to conditions.
It wasn't a USA 18. Okay, I'm just saying. Over the past 2-3 years, USA has not shown up against. Mexico has not shown up against the USA in competitive games.
I agree.
I want to see that happen, and I do think this in Gold Cup, if they matched up, would be one of the best Mexico-USA matchups in a while. So can beat them. I'm not confident they will. Mexico faces Canada in, let's say that was a 3-game series. I don't know if they beat Canada over a span of 3 games. Mexico are moving forward. I think for El Vasco to be trying different things finally. The 2-striker formation, which Mexico fans have been asking for months. No Charlie starting, which Mexico fans have been asking for months. I think it shows that they're listening, they're trying to change, and it's working. But again, I want to put a break on it just a little bit because again, it is a band-aid. It's a band-aid so far. If Mexico has a poor Gold Cup, Mexico could very well go into the Gold Cup and not make a semifinals or finals appearance. Like that would be a regression again, right? I think the Gold Cup should matter more in the grand scheme of things. Gold Cup is the last. Not counting the Nations League, I think they're playing again next year. Not counting that part. That is the biggest last venture before the World Cup. I don't know if Mexico is going to go into it or leaving it as high, on the same high as right now.
So depressing.
No, I'm not saying they won't, though. Mexico could win the Gold Cup, but it's very likely that they go into it and regress just a little bit. Because it's happened before. It's not like, how many times in the past couple years have Mexico had... Well,
I need to put like an I
you
believe thing
can.
right here, so I can
I'm
slap
surprised
it.
you haven't. I'm surprised
I
you
need to
haven't.
do that.
But how many times have Mexico had a "we're back" moment just for it to not matter, right? Like
But this is different. This is different.
No, okay. Well,
it was a slow build up to this.
And you say that every start of Copa America, they win against Jamaica, they get the win. We're so back, and then what happens? The next 2 games,
Eddie goes down.
Edson goes down, and they get they just don't make it. They don't do that well there either, right?
Don't remind me.
The USA friendly was cool, but like, okay, like, is it that big of a deal in the grand scheme of things? I don't know. But please don't. I mean, if you want to hate on me in the comments, feel free to. But at the same time, I'm not saying it's not possible. Mexico should be happy with this one. It's just let's just not put all the eggs in the basket yet. There's still a lot of time, a lot of games to be played for Mexico to not be continuing this. I think they will. I'm just saying there isn't. I'm just presenting the theory that they might not be.
I appreciate, it adds credibility to us, having a optimist, keeping us level, obviously, because if it was just me doing this, it would be a completely different story of everything that's said. So I appreciate your negativity.
Well, I just want to be honest. Let's be real here. Let's be real.
I don't know about real, but I appreciate, seeing both sides playing the mediator.
I'm not the real one. We're saying that I'm not the real one here. Come on.
I'm the delusional one. Delusion is still real to a certain extent. It's got to be grounded in something. So, there might be a truth to realism.
That is not. That is not true at all. What do you? That is just factually incorrect. But all right.
No. Factually correct. Anywho's.
Well, we do have the Gold Cup coming up pretty soon. We have the friendlies coming up pretty soon. A lot to look forward to for Mexico and the USA and Canada and Panama and the rest of CONCACAF, of course. It's a big year. It is a big year. But Gold Cup is the next big deal. And are we going to see the same Final Four in the Gold Cup? I'm not confident that we will. I think we're going to have 1 or 2 outliers there of other teams getting in the fold, maybe. But that's a conversation for another day. That is the Gold Cup prediction. That is, it's for the future.
Maybe we'll go to a game or 2. You never know.
If the opportunity presents it, I believe we can. I believe it's being hosted in LA and down here, San Diego.
I'm just saying. Jamaica, Mexico, United States, Canada. So one of those plays somewhere. We might be there.
Shit, Panama too. I'll go see Panama. I'll go see Costa Rica. I'll go see Suriname. Give me some Suriname.
I'll go see Trinidad and Tobago. 100%.
That's if they qualify. A lot of these teams haven't qualified yet, so we'll see. We don't know for sure. We don't know for sure. But that's okay. But of course, let us know in the comments down below your opinion on those 2 last games for the 2025 Concacaf Nations League tournament. I mean, it was entertaining. That's all we can ask for. It was entertaining. We got the friendlies coming up soon. I still got Gold Cup preliminaries to cover this week. I got AFC to cover. I got Asian Cup 2027 stuff to cover, as well as more CONCACAF related items will be posted in the next couple weeks or so. So make sure to subscribe for that if you aren't already. Make sure to leave a like on the video if you're excited for the upcoming Gold Cup. If you're excited for the World Cup. And
what in the Freddie Mercury was that?
Oh, that's a SpongeBob reference. I don't know how that I didn't get that. That's okay. It's, the Krabby Patty on the final.
I never watched SpongeBob as a kid. So,
all right.
Sorry.
Anyways, we'll see you guys in future videos or in the comment section. And take care, guys.
Peace.